So hello, I'm Elizabeth Valentine and welcome to this video where we are going to be saying goodbye to 2020 and ushering in the new year 2021. I'm sure that a lot of you can't wait, but I also think that lots of both good and bad happen in every year, and this year has kind of just been a bit, or last year has just been a bit crazy. So I encourage you to get a notebook and a pen, and I've been practically doing this ritual, this saying goodbye to the old, saying hello to the new year, pretty much the whole day. I started with a beautiful yoga and Tai Chi flow and ended up with a meditation. And yesterday I packed away all my Christmas decorations so that it was a new, fresh day for me to begin and do this today. So as you can see, I am sitting on the floor because I find that when you do deep dives, it's quite nice to be grounded on the floor. Then I have some crystals, I've got a little Buddha head, I've got some water for vitality and a plant for vitality, as well as my singing bowl. And I had a little bit of wine before because, you know, when you're dream building, it's quite just nice to sit in that slightly space. So, welcome. I have been saying goodbye to the old year, basically writing, well, this is, whoopsie daisy, all the writing I've been doing so far. So it's quite a lot. It takes a few hours, and I'm gonna go through it quickly now, what I've been doing. I'm gonna find the right page first. There we go. I'm gonna go through it and you can note down the questions and do them in your own time, because it might take a little bit longer than we have in this video. Also, I would say people are doing this, and I've been doing it with various sort of people and approaches over the years, but I tend to just find whatever works for me, and I think you should do the same. So let's start with a 2020 review. What worked in 2020? What did you do that really worked for you? Maybe you've started some new healthy habits. Maybe when the lockdown happened, you were like, right, I'm gonna now focus on spending the time with my kids, or getting fit, or making sure that I take my daily walk. Whatever it might be, what really worked in 2020? For me, I mean, I've written down my routines really worked, especially making sure that I nurtured myself every single day, both with food, but also with whatever it was I was consuming, whether that was television or social media, news. I pretty much haven't really consumed the news much in years. However, I was consuming too much, so now you can't even go on the news on my phone, and it feels great, because let's be honest, news aren't really news. You know, my professional life worked. Luckily, my business kind of continued. I have my own studio set up, so that was really something to be grateful for. You know, also my food and fitness transformation, that's been one thing I really focused on in 2020, because in the beginning of the year I was suffering through a back injury and I was in constant pain and nothing was really great. So I've really worked with a beautiful company called Whole Shift Wellness on just transforming my health and well-being, and that is going to continue being a focus area for me in the coming years, well, for the rest of my life, hopefully, because really, if we don't have great health and well-being, what have we got? Nothing. Other things that really worked for me, you know, I made some dreams come true. I moved to this beautiful space that I love, and I launched my podcast this year, which was something I've been wanting to do for quite a while. So that was really great. Next question is, what didn't work so well? And I'm sure that you guys have got lots of things that didn't work well for you either. I didn't always keep my promises, both to myself but also sort of to my online community, and not so keen on that. You know, I want to be consistent. I really want to be consistent, so that's something that I'm gonna be working on more going forward in 2021. You know, I kind of feel like I didn't finish as many things as I would like. I was quite distracted, of course. Yeah, what else? I didn't trust myself. I second guessed a lot last year. I doubted a lot last year, and occasionally I was caught up in fear too much, which I think, let's be honest, the whole world has been caught up in fear. But I always want to try and, you know, not sit in that energy, in that vibration, in that space. So yeah, I wrote down, I worried. I worried too much. What were your biggest time wasters or inefficiencies in 2020? Netflix, I only had it for 2 months, but definitely a huge time waster. Worrying, overthinking, doubting, asking, oh, should I do that? Should I do that? Oh, I don't know. What a waste of time. What an absolute waste of time. Yeah, I sort of had a lack of vision. I feel like I had a really clear vision with certain things and I executed them well. But sort of the grand picture, I was just like floating, going, oh, I don't know what it actually is I want. And I think that's because 2020 was such a year of transformation for all of us. It was such a year of just breaking down the old paradigms, both on a personal level, but also obviously on the collective level. And maybe finding out that some of the dreams and goals weren't really the dreams and goals I was after anymore. So that's been a big thing, because I think we have to look at how we're spending our time, who we're spending it with, and what we want our legacy to be whilst we're here on this earth this time around. Biggest achievement in 2020. What's your biggest achievement? I have a couple. One, committing to my physical and mental well-being. I have really committed this year. I have transformed my diet. I was already not eating much meat, but now I'm predominantly eating whole food, plant-based, which really works for me. I have transformed and let go of a lot of old behaviors and patterns and habits that I had, especially around food, but also around sort of everything else. So I find that has been such a great thing to do. And moving here, not having a lot of the distractions I had in my old place, I've really found the time and space to tune into my emotions and figure out, okay, why am I reacting like this? Why am I reaching for a handful of crisps? Oh, okay, it's actually because I don't want to feel the anger I feel after having read this email by a stupid colleague. Who obviously, obviously they didn't think they were being stupid, but it felt like, to me, either a rejection or just whatever. So things like that have been really great achievements for me. Definitely getting much more control about my behaviors and patterns and tuning in and saying, okay, where is this coming from? Okay, it's coming maybe from a deep childhood wound. How can I heal that and transmute it and move along? Releasing my podcast and committing to it, that's been a huge achievement for me this year. I mean, that's just been big because I'd been wanting to do it for a while, but I've been maybe a bit of a scaredy cat around it. So that felt really huge. And then obviously moving house. I was in my old house for 8 years, have always lived with people, and now I'm on my own and it's peaceful and tranquil. And actually, I want to read you what I wrote in 2020, or in the beginning of 2020. This is what I wrote. In 2020, I moved to a new, lovely home full of light. It's quiet, great energy, wooden floors, outside gorgeous space, my own personal oasis of calm, peace, and tranquility. It's right there. And you know what? That vision totally came true, and I'm so, so grateful. Yeah. Oh, what excuses did I have? What excuses did you have in 2020? What were some of the things that you just were like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I don't feel well. Oh, I'm just gonna eat my way through lockdown. I'm just gonna, screw it. I don't want to go for a walk, or I'm just gonna lie here on the sofa and watch Netflix, or whatever was it. What stopped you from doing the things that deep down you know you want to do, and deep down what would be nurturing for you, either for your career or for your relationship or for your health or your mental well-being, whatever it might be. I had lots of excuses. I was like, oh, I'm tired, I'm not in the right frame of mind, I'm not in the right state. That's my biggest excuse. I'm gonna look at that. Where it's like, oh, I don't feel well, oh, I'm too anxious, I'm overwhelmed, I'm stressed, whatever, right? It's the same kind of stuff, you know. Oh, I'll do it early tomorrow morning because I really need to just go to bed now, new day tomorrow. And by the way, sometimes the best thing is to just go to bed and start the day afresh. That's what I did yesterday. I was not in the right frame of mind to do this work yesterday, even though it was the 1st of January and that would have been nice to do it. But I did the preparation for it yesterday. Clearing away, making my space mine again after Christmas, putting all my little Christmas elves into hibernation for the next 10, 11, 12 months. Yeah. How will I make sure that when those excuses come up, I don't let them stop me? So, you know, that's quite good, isn't it? Definitely for me, it's about keep working on my health and my mental well-being so that my body lets me live the most extraordinary life. Yeah, I think that's the biggest one. So what are you gonna do? What excuses do you have, and how are you gonna make sure that when you come up with those excuses that they don't stop you from doing what you really want to be doing? Also, I really want to tune in every day with myself and my guides so that the next right step is effortless, because I know exactly what I need to do and why I'm doing it. And whenever there's fear or resistance, then I can check in and go, okay, what is that? What is it that's stopping me? Because really, I'm not tired. Sometimes I am, but generally, I'm not really tired. And I didn't think I was going to do a video today because I was like, but no, I'm fine. So I'm doing a video for you guys. Yeah, so really, I'm really going to tap into what is the resistance, what is the fear about, and then when we work at that root level, then we can transmute those energies and move forward. Okay. Ooh. Is there something I wished I had done differently this year? What do I regret not having done? That's powerful. Actually, in our regrets, we find so much wisdom. We find all the answers in our regrets often. I always used to say my biggest fear is coming to the end of my life and regretting all the things I haven't done. So sometimes I sort of travel into the future and then look back and go, oh, what do I want? What should I have done? And what can I do now so that I don't sit in that energy at the end? Just gonna have a sip of water. Yeah, you know what? I wish I hadn't worried so much about doing everything perfectly. I really wish I hadn't worried so much. And just done it. And I wish I hadn't been overthinking it. And because it's actually stopped me from sharing so much value that I could have shared, because I was overthinking and going, oh, is this what I want? Oh, is this good enough? Is this blah, 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 blah. So those are some of mine. What are yours? What do you wish you would have done differently this year, if anything? I mean, I also think that everything happens in the perfect way at the perfect time. But still, if we want to keep growing, we have to look at those things. What are you proud of having done this year? What are you proud of having done? Or I keep saying this year, last year, we're in January now. I'm really proud of having committed to myself. This whole year has been a big commitment to me, to my health, to my well-being, to my spiritual practices. And keeping promises to yourself is the most important. And I think a lot of us aren't that great at keeping our promises to ourselves. I know that I haven't been, but I'm practicing getting better all the time. I'm so proud that despite being quite fearful of moving house, I did it, and I haven't regretted it for a second. And I'm so proud that I finally started my podcast and that I was consistent with it. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm proud that I looked at myself and kept growing even when it was uncomfortable, to look at those things in ourselves that maybe we're not so excited about or happy about or proud of. Yeah, so that I'm really proud of. And I did a lot of things. I did do a lot of things that I said I was going to do. I exercise, I batch cook, I fuel myself. I decided when I was going on a holiday back home that I was going to rent a summer house, and we had the most beautiful time with my family. And I knitted this jumper. Oh yeah, I forgot I was wearing it. I knitted this jumper because I said this year I want to freaking knit a jumper. When I'm on holiday back home in Denmark with my parents, my mum's a great knitter. So I was like, yeah, I want to make something with my hands. I've been painting this year. I've been making Christmas decorations. I've done a lot. I wanted to create this year. And I want to keep creating, not just consuming. Yeah. What do you want to create? Yeah. Oof. This one is good. What do I want to release and leave in 2020? What do you want to release and leave? What do you want to leave behind and go, okay, you know what? It served me for a while. Obviously, there's a reason for all the, limiting beliefs, all the unhealthful habits, all the things where you think, why do you keep doing this when you know it's not going to be good for you? Well, we do that because at a time in our life, probably when we were very young, that was a strategy that worked to keep us safe. It was a protection mechanism that worked at that time. Now, not so much, because you've grown and you've healed and you've developed. So, yeah, what do you wish to release? I wish to release fear. I really wish to release fear. There was so much fear in 2020. And I was definitely getting caught up in it in lots of levels. Of course, sort of the overarching fear and the fear being pushed on us as well from all angles. But also very personal fears of, oh my God, will people not like me? Oh, fears about, will they misunderstand me? Fear of rejection, fear of making people ill. Yeah. A fear of discord, fear of anger, fear of conflict. And I think in 2020, there's going to be conflict. Or 2021. And going forward, there's going to be conflict because everyone ultimately wants the same. But everyone also has a very different idea of how to reach that, where they are going. So there's going to be conflict. But that's okay. As long as we can almost, I don't know if we should agree to disagree, but I think we need to acknowledge other human beings way and try and find understanding and go, okay, I can see how that might work for you. It's not going to work for me. It's funny, I was walking up on the high street sometime before Christmas, and there were some people standing there talking about God. And I don't know, I got sucked in and I was like, oh, I already believe in God. And we were having a chat, and it was all very good. It was all very fine. And I was like, yeah, agree. And then it came to it, and he was like, well, I mean, do you believe that this is the only way? God said that is the right way to do it and receive salvation. And I was like, oh, well, I don't agree with that. I was like, that might be the right way for some people, but not necessarily for other people. And he was like, no, there's one right way. That's it. And I just thought, nah, mate, there isn't. There's so many ways to get to the same result. That's why you see so much creativity. I mean, being a musician, you think there's only, 8 tones, 7 whole notes, and then the semitones in between. How can there keep coming new music? How can you keep being creative with the way that you are using the music, or combining the notes and the words and the rhythms? There's so much space for creativity. So saying there's only one right way, bullshit. Yeah. So what do you want to release and leave behind? Yeah. So now let's look at 2021. It's funny, there's sort of different areas of our lives that we like to work on. You might have seen the Wheel of Life exercise one time, and these can be broken down in different parts. There's like health and well-being, wealth and finances, there's wisdom and knowledge, there's business, there's relationships and family, there's spirituality and purpose. And you might find some of your own, but I have created a little vision for each of these areas in my life, and I want to share a few of them. I'll share a little bit. I don't mind. So for health and well-being, I mean, that's definitely been my biggest priority last year. It was also, I think it's also going to be a big priority this year. And what I like to do is really just sink down, take some deep breaths, and then just write whatever comes to you. And what comes to you is what needs to come out. And it might be that I'll still go back and tweak a little bit, but for the first one, that's it. So health and well-being, this is an example. I'll just read some of mine. I nurture my body, I nurture my mind, body, and spirit. Whether it's food, a movement, mindfulness, but only what serves my highest good and the highest good for all. I predominantly eat a whole food plant-based diet and only consume as much as I need. I move my body with ease and feel vibrant and full of energy and vitality. I reach and maintain my ideal weight with ease. I feel great and comfortable in my body. It facilitates me living my best, most extraordinary life. I sleep well, and I am strong, fit, flexible, and healthy. And then that's sort of very an overarching, how do I want it to be? And then underneath, I've written some habits. And setting an intention for what you want is vital, but it's also vital to break it down and kind of look, okay, but how am I gonna achieve this? Right? Because if you are in tune with yourself and your body, you might just intuitively do the things that's gonna get you to where you want to go. But as we're practicing, if we're kind of, in a transformation, which I think most of us are, then it's good to have some very clear habits that are broken down and written down. Write everything down. So I've put down, okay, I'm going to work out 4 times a week, but I'm going to move my body every single day. So work out 4 times a week and move my body every single day. I'm going to do the workout with my personal trainer from Whole Shift Wellness. I'm going to do yoga wheel therapy. I'm going to do body balance. I'm going to go for walks. I have a trampoline out on my balcony, so I like to do some trampolining. I also feel like I want to do something quite physical this year. I guess because I had my back injury and I'm now feeling practically pain-free, I feel like, okay, I can do something, and whether that is gonna be climbing a little mountain or, I mean, I've had a dream of climbing Kilimanjaro for a number of years. Whether that's this year, we'll see. But maybe it's climbing, you know, a smaller mountain, maybe in England or in Wales or in Scotland. Or whether it is, I don't know, doing a challenge. That I don't know yet, but I feel like I want to be really physical. Yeah, nature, I want to interact with nature every single day. And I want some nature that, excuse me, some nature that isn't in London at least once a month. Whether it's going down to the seaside, going to a forest, whatever it might be. I like to do grounding, where I stand on my bare feet on the ground, and I might hug a tree as well. So I've got something in my throat. I don't know what it is. Excuse me. Yeah. This is a habit. I plan and batch cook healthy plant-based meals, so I always have a great healthy option in the freezer. I aim for 30 different types of plants each week. This is great. There's a lot of things supporting evidence that it is so important for our gut microbiome, I think you say it, to eat at least 30 different variety of plants each week. And that's obviously fruit and vegetables, but it's also grains, nuts, seeds, legumes, all these things. And actually, you know what? It's been a bit of a sport lately for me to just go, okay, right, especially if I've had a week where it's been a bit samey, you know, you can eat quite a lot of potatoes and sweet potatoes and broccoli and carrots and peas, but to really get up to those 30 plants a week, sometimes you have to be really creative. And if it's coming to the end of the week and I go, oh shit, I'm only on 20 and today's Saturday, excuse me, you know, what can I put in? What can I cook that's gonna have loads of vegetables in? Yeah. Also, I have a strict sleep schedule because I tend to suffer from insomnia. So, you know, no screens after 9, and yeah, and just kind of winding down, because I find that especially there's quite a lot of stress towards the end of last year, and people, you know, an illness in the family and stuff. So actually, if I don't wind down, 2 o'clock in the morning, my brain goes, and I have crazy nightmares, and I wake up or I'm singing lyrics. If I've listened to the same music again and again, I'm singing the lyrics, waking up. Me and my friends watched and listened to a lot of Hamilton this year, and the amount of nights I've woken up singing songs from Hamilton at 3 in the morning, and you think that's really not what I should be doing at 3 in the morning, is it now? And then the other thing I've said is I regularly take time to relax with like salt baths, meditation, massage, stretching, reading, breathing. Breathing is so key. Yeah. So this is kind of thing that you can do for all the different areas. So wealth and finance. I like to set myself a financial target at the beginning of the year, and it's not always I reach it, but it is just good to think about. And definitely I would say with wealth and finances, you need to have some really good habits in place. So, as I have my affairs in order, I dedicate time to my finances and admin on a bi-weekly or monthly basis. I'm a singer, I'm a performer, I'm a creative. So actually having to be really strategic about these things just generally doesn't really interest me, but it gives me real peace when I do it. So I commit to that. When we look at wisdom and knowledge, what do you want to learn this year? What are you committed to doing? Are you committed to setting aside time each week for your own growth? I have other things I've committed to, read and understand a topic or a business book or something that isn't, just pleasurable. I'm committed to reading and understanding a subject for 1 hour a week. That's not much, but honestly, sometimes it's better just to set the bar low so you actually do it. I'm also dedicating 5 hours a week to pure growth, and that's more on a business note. And then I'm putting, this is the important bit, and I think that's what I've missed out previous years. I'm putting 5 hours aside to implementing what I have learned in my growth. And then we've got business. I don't know what your business is, but what are your business vision for 2021? And remember, it can be easy to go, I want to make this amount of money. I want to have this exact thing happen. That can be a bit hard because maybe what needs to happen, what you envisage, actually isn't the best thing that could happen for you. So I like to keep it, again, quite vague, but still specific. So for instance, my business is thriving and profitable. I attract my ideal clients and make a massive difference to their lives. I add enormous value to the world and I'm compensated generously for it. See, this is all very vague, but it's still very specific. And then I have some milestones that I want to reach, both with my podcast growth. I'm releasing a book that I was going to have released in 2020, but you know what? It didn't happen. Other things came up. So I'm like, okay, I've got 30,300 words, something like that. So it's nearly done. So it's coming out this year. And then relationships and family. I mean, that's something we don't want to neglect. If you are very business focused, it might be that you are neglecting some of those other areas that really add value to your life. And I know that I have definitely done that in the past. So I've got a whole page of things regarding relationships and family. And relationships are both, to be honest, business relationships, romantic relationships, friend relationships, and family relationships. But yeah, I have quite a lot of things for that one. And then spirituality and purpose. I believe that is really important to connect to that. And I think it's something that a lot of us haven't maybe been doing or have forgotten how to do. So, one of my things is I continue having a spiritual practice with prayer, meditation, connection, peace, and open-mindedness. And I continue listening to various spiritual leaders and teachers and really just, I guess, tuning in with myself and deepening my relationship to the divine. And I believe that, as our consciousness change and we evolve and we grow, I definitely feel like the divine is in all of us. So we just need to really tune in. And I also believe that we all have guides, whether that is your higher self, whether it is guardian angels, whether it is ETs, who knows? But what do you tap into when you need guidance? So that is pretty much it for me. I've kind of gone through all my things here. This is from last year. I've ticked off quite a few things. My business this year, really, I didn't tick off much that I thought I wanted to do last year. You know, speak in 5 continents. Yeah, that really didn't happen, did it? You know, but lots of things could have happened that may happen this year. We'll see. Vacations, I did a whole page of vacations. Only one thing came true, but that was amazing. So that was good. Family and relationships, yeah, some things happened. But most importantly, it is that, you know, we let go of the people, behaviors, experiences, habits, patterns that no longer serve us, and leave it in the old year. And then we invite with us into the new year the things that serve us, fill up our cup, you know, give value, both not just to us, but for the highest good of all. That's what we want. And you're worth it. I'm worth it too. So that is my New Year's gift to you. Have a wonderful, wonderful year. Let me know in the comments how you found this, if it was helpful, and you know, of course, subscribe and follow. I'm going to be putting out more videos this year. You can also come and follow me on Instagram. I've put the links below. And then I just want to wish you a magical 2021. Dream big. Dream big. But also keep grounding and keep connecting to source. So that's it for me. See you next time.